the market seeming to be in a wait-and-see mode for now, with cumulative data for the week last week showing a 0.2% uptick on the NSE 20, and that marginal. So what's your view on the markets at the moment and your outlook for the week ahead?
Alishia, last week we saw a bit of activity, a lot of speculative activity in the market, a lot of foreign activity in the market, particularly on counters like Kenya Airways. We saw it gain about 12% week on week, up to levels about 40.75. For me, basically, we may see a bit of more speculative on the counter, with results expected, innovative results expected soon. Also, the issue of them raising capital, we may see them do a rights issue, which would be the safe option for them to go to. So we may see some activity on that. Also, we saw some bit of activity on KPLC from levels about 21.50 to levels about 22.75, which was actually about 8% increase in share price, driven mostly by foreign activity on the counter. What is coming out that Kenya Power is actually planning to increase its tariffs. It hasn't done so for the last 3 years, but we actually expecting them to actually increase their tariffs in relation to the costs that actually have picked up. Same thing happening with KCB, being held by foreign activity in the market. Levels are about 26.50, up to highs about 27. Considering that they're closing their books on the 1 shilling and 25-cent dividend today, we may see a bit of activity on it.
Yeah. Well, there's been very little news flow in influencing investors either way, but there has been a little bit, and amongst that has been housing finance. It released Q1 numbers for 2011, showing a 66.7% increase in earnings per share. Your overall impressions of housing finance on the back of those numbers being released?
Well, after the release, the results were released last week on Friday. We didn't see much in terms of market share price appreciation, but we actually expect, as I said earlier in last week, that we expect a lot of activity coming in, particularly from the financial institutions. First quarter results are expected to be quite healthy, considering that most of these banks have made a lot of money on margin trading on bonds and also on forex trading. So you may see a lot of activity on that. And also, housing finance went ahead to actually be able to actually accept deposits in terms of current account deposits. So we're actually seeing their loan book actually also grow. So for them, quarter one was actually quite healthy for them. We're actually seeing more interest in the real estate industry. So for them, we actually see more. We may see the price reacting maybe in the course of this week. But yet again, in terms of performance on banks, Coop did quite well. You saw a small upsurge in price, then it dipped again. But definitely financial sector, very good quarter one results expected from all of them.
There is a concern, though, in terms of maintaining the kind of loan book growth we've seen for housing finance going forward. I mean, the level, maintenance of the level of demand because of the price of housing units and the kind of pressure consumers are under right now on account of rising inflation. Is that a concern for you in terms of growth prospects for housing finance moving forward?
Yes, it is. But if you're looking at the company itself, I think it actually went ahead and asked for a license to actually operate current accounts, which means that we may actually see it boost its deposit, because they lend against the deposits that they have. And if the deposits actually grow, we may see them actually grow also the loan book. Demand for housing has actually grown. You're looking at between what 10 to 20,000 units increase in demand. So definitely we may see an increase in demand for housing, particularly driven by the middle income group that is actually emerging in this country. So definitely we may see them actually maintain that. Yet again, we're actually seeing a bit of competition coming in from Barclays. We saw them dip their mortgage rates to about what 11.99%. Actually creating a bit of a competition wage in this industry. So you may see other banks actually follow suit. Housing finance now giving their rates at about 15%. We may actually see them actually dip the interest rates, so actually meet the competition that they're getting from other banks.
Well, Safaricom, in the meantime, is suing Porting Access for defamation. Now, this is a company that has been mandated to migrate subscribers to network operators of their choice, and Safaricom at this stage alleging that it was impeding the newly introduced number portability system. What's actually playing out there, and how do you see the story developing?
The telecom wars are really exciting since Bharti Airtel actually decreased the call rates from to about a shilling per minute, and the number of people came on board. So we're actually seeing a lot of tug of war coming in the industry. People were shifting from Bharti to Safaricom, some from Safaricom to the other networks. But right now, as we speak, we're seeing a lot of people actually switching on to Bharti Airtel, which actually is the second largest mobile company in Kenya. So the issue that Safaricom is coming in to say that they're going to sue this company for what they're saying, it might hold in terms of if you're looking at the share performance. Also, we've not seen any movement. We're actually seeing them actually taking a dip in terms of their profits. The only thing that Safaricom is gaining right now is through M-Pesa. Without M-Pesa, we may not see much in terms of financial gains in terms for Safaricom. Because right now, Bharti Airtel has actually taken quite a number of clients away from Safaricom.
So bearing in mind that the data and mobile market is really the growth curve that one should be concentrating on when looking at Safaricom, what are you making of current valuation sitting at 3 shillings 95?
I think it's a fair valuation of the company. We're actually not seeing much in terms of share price gain. Traded 44 million shares last week at an average of 3.95, 4 shillings. We may actually see it hold at those levels. Going forward, we may not see them actually report very healthy results as the previous year, where they had where they had 80, 90, 100% increase in their profits. So actually, we may see a dip in terms of profits, and a dip is also in share price. The only way forward for them is actually by increasing in terms of that data, and also by the number of M-Pesa transactions that they may be looking forward to. But in terms of the amount of revenue coming in from calls, that we may see a decrease in that.
Well, it's not only the telecom space that's seeing some turf war playing itself out within the tobacco space as well. BAT supporting a new single regime taxation method proposed for cigarette makers by the World Health Organization and the Ministry of Public Health. But we've got others within that sector opposing that kind of legislation coming through. What have you made of the kind of stance BAT has taken in this regard?
One thing we're seeing is that we're seeing a lot of competition in these industries. One of the players, Mastermind, has actually grown in terms of market share, while BAT has dipped in terms of market share. This is because the rules were changed, whereby nowadays when you're selling a pack, you have to sell the whole pack of cigarettes. Earlier you could sell 1 stick, 2 sticks, 3 sticks, but this has changed. And we're actually seeing that has actually hit the market, the cigarette market, particularly for BAT. But in terms of performance, in terms of growth, we're actually seeing more growth and better performance in terms of revenue growth by BAT. If not in terms of revenue growth, we're actually expecting a more robust dividend payout from the company. So definitely, with them asking for a single taxation regime, that may actually benefit the company going forward. Looking at BAT's strategy as well, regional expansion very much on the cards. It's looking at expanding its export market into South Sudan, but that does come with its fair share of challenges, though, where the market in South Sudan is 80% illicit at this stage. For them, that is actually a challenge for them. But definitely, for them to grow the market share, to grow their turnover and profits, they actually take a risk and venture into this industry, in these markets. Southern Sudan is an open market. Everyone is going there. We're seeing banks going there, telecom companies going there. Now it's actually even brewery companies are going there. There was a talk that breweries may be looking at going there. SAB have already gone there. So definitely this is a market, open market that is available for them. There's so much revenue coming, there's so much money in that economic that we expect from that economy, and therefore it's actually a positive way for BAT to actually step into that economy for other participants actually get whiff of it and get there.